Alrighty guys, it's part 5. It's like 4 in the morning, I'm tired and I'm hungry, but this game's too much fun to put down. So I think for this video what I'm going to do is just take a gander at some of the tools at your disposal for a user-generated level. But before you do that, my tip is to, I kind of experimented with it a little bit earlier. I didn't film it though because it was just kind of terrible. But the first thing you want to do is find a good point where you want to do it. So I'm going to climb this water tower here. Let's see if I could. Oh, the ladder's broken. Oh, you know what? I think I can get. Oh! Good job, Cole. Okay. So you want to get a cool little vantage point for your level. So the top of this water tower would be kind of a cool idea. Well, depending on what you wanted to do. But oh, you know what? Scratch that. Changed my mind. I found an even cooler spot. There's like a little, looks like a cemetery down here. That was a good jump. Sorry guys, I'm kind of. It's a St. Charles cemetery, so let's go check this out. I'm pretty curious. Yeah, so like this is kind of a cool, unique little area. A great place to start your. I can't climb that. Great place to start your mission. So let's do it all the way. You know what? Wow, he can climb on just about anything. That's impressive. Let's see if we can get up here, actually. Oh, there you go. Nice. Okay. Well, enough playing around. Let's get to the user-generated stuff. So what you want to do is you want to go press start, you go to the main menu, and then right here is user-generated content. And in the first video we got to hear a guy from Sucker Punch talk about the basics of making a level, and one of the things he said was creating a mission from scratch is not wise for your first choice, so I'm going to do it from a template, as he suggested. So here's a lot of basic scenarios. So you could do like assassination, you could do a battle, where it's a group of people where you have teammates actually. If you look at the radar, you have a bunch of white indicating your teammates, and red, and it looks like orange that are enemies. Yeah, these are cool. You could do chase, you could do a collectible where you have to collect a certain amount of stuff in a designated amount of time. Kill them all, defend. Defend would be fun in a cemetery. Destroy. Gang war, guard. You could do a narrative. Parkour. A race. I actually got to play a race earlier where you get to kind of you go on the those trolley lines and you just kind of glide through those. That was actually a lot of fun. Physics. I don't know what this is. Platforming. Ring race. Yeah, that's what I did. The ring race. That's a lot of fun. Search and rescue. God, there are a ton of these. Look at this. It just goes on. And these are templates. These aren't, you're not exactly limited to these. You could kind of do whatever you want. But if you did want to do whatever you wanted, you just go to create empty mission. And here's kind of just how it starts. So this exclamation is where you start, I believe. I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so as you can see, for the beta, you only have 2 rows that are given to you here. Here, let me tilt this a little bit. So up here are 2 rows. So you get core objects and core logic. Core objects are basically, you have some NPCs here. You have some weird creature. You got some a mounted gun, you got a gas tank, you got some C4, you got cars, put a little taxi on the roof, you got a truck. You know, just a bunch of, it's a very potpourri assortment of just, it's random stuff here. But then underneath that is where it gets a little technical. So these are called core logic items. So for example, this first one, it's a little headphone, and it monitors characters or objects and triggers its outputs. It's often used to trigger an output modifier. So if you can see the little blue square, when you put this down, like so, and then you create another object, notice how it has a blue square above the new object as well? That means that whatever this core logic accessory is, if it's blue, it applies to all the blue objects. So if I were to put this guy down, you know, I could attach this to the guy, and that'll influence his activity. Another thing I want to point out is just how many things there are. So like here on core logic, you could just keep scrolling, and there's just all this stuff that dictates what the NPCs or what the object does in your space. So there's just a ton. You know, you can leave a comment. You can trigger music. So obviously they got a lot of inspiration from Little Big Planet, which is fantastic. Because where better could you get inspiration for user-created stuff? But another thing I want to point out is that for the beta, we're only given these 2 rows. If you look down, there's even more. There's just tons and tons of squares, which means that I'm guessing we're limited in the beta, obviously, but also I think that as you progress through the single player of InFamous, and this is just speculation, I'm guessing that you unlock a lot more things. So I think the cooler the objects that you unlock is really contingent on how you progress in the single player. And if that's the case, that's fantastic, because that would just be cool. Because if you put a lot of time and effort into your single player, you know, your single player playthrough, you know, it'd be nice to get paid off for it with user-generated objects. So I'm actually going to delete this so nobody comes over here to play this this waste of a mission. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. So what I do is I go to My Missions, and it shows all the missions that you have. And it looks like you can store up to, it looks like 8, unless you could keep scrolling down. So yeah. So that is, in a nutshell, that's user-generated content. Just the very basics of it. I didn't even create anything because I'm pretty bad at it, and I still got a lot of learning to do myself. So I think that's what I'm going to do first thing tomorrow, assuming Sony hasn't shut my ass down. We'll see. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but I have a feeling when the morning hits, crap's going to hit the fan. But, you know, I appreciate you guys following this. This is, I'm glad, because if I was doing this at 4 in the morning for myself, it'd be kind of lame. So, you know, thanks again. Appreciate it. And what is this? There's a guy swimming down there. Alright, so, yeah, again, I think for my 6th video, what I'm going to do is, before I post it, I'm going to delve a little into the user-generated features and try to think of a cool concept to do. And I'm basically going to do a video walkthrough of that. So I will see you guys tomorrow when I post it, assuming Sony doesn't sue me. So, yeah, thanks again, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a good one.